friends, today's video is about the angles formed when the transversal line cuts the two parallel lines. So here let's begin and understand. I have drawn a figure here. So you can see there is two parallel lines here. Let us call it as L and M. So these are L and M are the two lines, and this particular P is a transversal line cutting the line L and line M at, let me call it as Q and R. So these are the points. This particular transversal line is cutting these two parallel lines at these points. So now you know that whenever we have two lines meeting, there are angles formed, isn't it? So here what are the angles formed, especially when the two parallel lines are there and one transversal line is there. This transversal line can be any ways. So like for example, I'll show you just rough diagram. It can be like this as well. But remember, there has to be two parallel lines and one transfer, whichever side. Okay, these rules are applied in that case. Okay, very important basics of the geometry. Okay, so here what happens is, number of angles formed when this happens is, here let's call this angle 1 and let's call this angle 2, angle 3 and angle 4. This is angle 5 and this is angle 6 and this is angle 7 and angle 8 are formed, isn't it? So we have some names to recognize them. So basically, and also they are called as a corresponding angle. See, here I've written corresponding angles. So whenever we have these angles formed, there are some angles which are equal to each other. Okay, so especially when you see that, observe the pattern here, this line is cutting exactly this. So this angle 1 and angle 5 are equal to each other and they are called as corresponding angles. So I will write angle 1 and angle 5. All right, and angle 2 and angle 6, angle 2 and angle 6. All right, then angle 3 and angle 7, angle 3 and angle 7, and the last pair, angle 4 and angle 8. These pair of angles are called as the corresponding angles and they are always equal to each other. So you take any pair, angle 1 and angle 5, they are equal to each other. So you can as well say here, okay, that angle 1 is equal to angle 5, angle 2 is equal to angle 6, and angle 3 is equal to angle 7, and angle 4 is equal to angle 8. Okay. So now that we have learnt what are corresponding angles, so again we come across something called as vertically opposite angles. So what are vertically? As the name says, they are opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles means, let's look at this figure here. The angle 1 and angle 4, they are exactly opposite sides, right? So they both are also called as vertically opposite angles. Similarly, angle 2 and angle 3 are called as vertically opposite angles. Angle 5 and angle 8 are called as vertically opposite angles. Angle 6 and angle 7 are also called as vertically opposite angles. See, basically whenever you have the two intersecting lines, so the opposite angles are always equal. Even this angle is equal to this angle is also equal to this angle. So these are called as vertically opposite angles. So here in this particular figure, so which are the angles that are vertically opposite angles? So I will just write here, that is angle 1 is equal to angle 4 and angle 2 is equal to angle 3. Further, angle 5 is equal to angle 8 and angle 7 is equal to angle 6. Alright. Also, there are third type of angles called as alternate angles. And in alternate angles, there can be further alternate interior angles and alternate exterior angles. Okay, so here when you observe this whenever we have like this Z kind of a formation, this, and whenever we have these two parallel lines and this angle, that is, see, it is just like this. Where I just draw it like this, just observe it. It is like this. See, these two are parallel lines and this angle is equal to this angle. So those are called as alternate interior angle. So here, which are the alternate angle here? So observe the pattern, the Z pattern, right here. Angle 4 is equal to angle 5 And similarly, you can observe the opposite z, right, like this. So same way, angle 3 is equal to angle 6. So they are also called as the alternate interior angle. They are equal to each other. Very important thing, whenever we are supposed to prove that lines are parallel. So this is the main thing we observe, that is alternate interior angles. If they are equal to each other, we can directly prove that those two lines are parallel. Okay, this is one of the condition to prove the lines are parallel. Very important. Okay. Coming to the next part, the alternate exterior angle. So here the angle 1, okay, angle 1 and angle 8. Angle 1 is equal to angle 8. They are called as alternate exterior angle. Similarly, angle 2 and angle 7. Angle 2 is equal to angle 7. These are the pair of alternate exterior angle. Now coming to the main part here. So observe this 3 and angle 5. These are interior angles of this parallel line. Also the sum of angle 3 and angle 4 is equal to 180. I will write here, just see here. Sum of angle 3 and sum of and angle 5. If you get 180 degrees, then this is also one of the rules to prove that it is a pair. Those two are the parallel lines. See here, these 3 and angle 5, they both are together. They form the 180 degrees, right? So they are also called as a co-interior angle. Alright, similarly, angle 4 and angle 6. Angle 4, right, plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so there are two such pairs here, co-interior angle, and together whenever you have a two parallel lines and somewhere you have to find one of the angle, so you can use this always, that when two parallel lines meet and there is a transversal, so two here 4 and 5, like this situation comes, you can always say that these two angles together form 180 degrees. Okay, so observe here angle 1 and 2 and angle 5 and 6. So these two are like linear pair, isn't it? So together they form the 180 degrees. So that is a very common thing, like, you know, a straight line together it forms a 180 degrees. Angle 1 and 2 together they form 180 degrees. Angle 4 and 3 together they form 180 degrees. Angle 5 and 6 they form 180 degrees. They are all linear pair. They are called as a linear pair. Angle 7 and angle 8 also form the 180 degrees, isn't it? So I'll just mention it in this. So angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, then we have angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. And angle 7 plus angle 8 is also equal to 180 degrees. These are all called as a linear pair. Whenever we have a straight line and two angles together, they form a 180 degrees. Those are the linear pair. Alright, so now I hope you have understood all these angles, very important basics of geometry, which is very useful in the you know, in most of the like higher classes. So I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.